Today, I'm going to be talking about the 4 agreements.
I like to sit back and watch a tree grow. I like the way they think it's all growth, not an ego. I wish that you could speak to these.
Hey, it's Aquila Mariyah here, and today is day 19 of the Mindset Shift Challenge. So I'm not going to just sit here and read the whole book, but I am going to basically just speak on what the 4 agreements are. The first agreement, be impeccable with your word. The first agreement is the most important one and also the most difficult one to honor. This is true. It is so important that with just this first agreement, you will be able to transcend to the level of existence I call heaven on earth. The first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. It sounds very simple, but it is very, very powerful. Your word is the power that you have to create. Your word is the gift that comes directly from God. The Gospel of John in the Bible, speaking of the creation of the universe, says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God." Through the Word, you express your creative power. It is through the Word that you manifest everything, regardless of what language you speak. Your intent manifests through the Word. What you dream, what you feel, and what you really are will all be manifested through the Word. Being impeccable with your word is so important and so difficult, like he said. Completely agree. Very, very difficult. I do my best to remind myself every day, but it's every day that I struggle. The second agreement, don't take anything personally. The next 3 agreements are really born from the first agreement. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. Whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Using an earlier example, if I see you on the street and I say, "Hey, you are stupid," without knowing you, it's not about you, it's about me. Listen to this. If you take it personally, then perhaps you believe you are stupid. Maybe you think to yourself, how does he know? Is he clairvoyant? Or can everybody see how stupid I am? You take it personally because you agree with whatever was said. As soon as you agree, the poison goes through you, and you are trapped in the dream of hell. What causes you to be trapped is what we call personal importance. Personal importance, or taking things personally, is the maximum expression of selfishness because we make the assumption that everything is about me. During the period of our education or our domestication, we learn to take everything personally. We think we are responsible for everything. Me, always me. Nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves. All people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one we live in. When we take something personally, we make the assumption that they know what is in our world, and we try to impose our world on their world. When you take things personally, then you feel offended, and your reaction is to defend your beliefs and create conflicts. It is not important to me what you think about me, and I don't take what you think personally. Whatever people do, feel, think, or say, don't take it personally. If they tell you how wonderful you are, they are not saying that because of you. You know you are wonderful. It is not necessary to believe other people who tell you that you are wonderful. Don't take anything personally. Even if someone got a gun and shot you in the head, it was nothing personal, even at that extreme. The third agreement, don't make assumptions. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. We have the tendency to make assumptions about everything. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We could swear they are real. We make assumptions about what others are doing or thinking. We take it personally. Then we blame them and react by sending emotional poison in our word. That is why whenever we make assumptions, we're asking for problems. We make an assumption, we misunderstand, we take it personally, and we end up creating a whole big drama for nothing. Pause. I don't know about you, but when I first read this, I was just like, what? All the sadness and drama you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. Take a moment to consider the truth of this statement. The whole war of control between humans is about making assumptions and taking things personally. Our whole dream of hell is based on that. We create a lot of emotional poison just by making assumptions and taking it personally, because usually we start gossiping about our assumptions. Remember, gossiping is the way we communicate to each other in the dream of hell and transfer poison to one another. Because we are afraid to ask for clarification, we make assumptions and believe we are right about the assumptions. Then we defend our assumptions and try to make someone else wrong. Think about if you've done this before. It is always better to ask questions than to make an assumption, because assumptions set us up for suffering. An example, you are walking in the mall and you see a person you like. That person turns to you and smiles, then walks away. You can make a lot of assumptions just because of this one experience. With these assumptions, you can create a whole fantasy, and you really want to believe this fantasy and make it real. A whole dream begins to form just from your assumptions. And you can believe, oh, this person really likes me in your mind, and the whole relationship begins from that. Maybe you even get married in this fantasy land, but the fantasy is in your mind and in your personal dream. Making assumptions in our relationships is really asking for problems. Often we make the assumption that our partners know what we think and we don't have to say what we want. We assume they are going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we assume they should do, we feel so hurt and say, you should have known. So good. Last but not least, the fourth agreement, always do your best. There's just one more agreement, but it's the one that allows the other three to become deeply ingrained habits. The fourth agreement is about the action of the first three. Always do your best. Under any circumstance, always do your best. This is why I always say this. No more and no less, but keep in mind that your best is never going to be the same from one moment to the next. Everything is alive and changing all the time, so your best will sometimes be high quality and other times it will not be as good. When you wake up refreshed and energized in the morning, your best will be better than when you are tired at night. Your best will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick, or sober as opposed to drunk. Your best will depend on whether you are feeling wonderful and happy, or upset and angry, or jealous. In your everyday moods, your best can change from one moment to another, from 1 hour to the next, from one day to another. Your best will also change over time. As you build the habit of the 4 new agreements, your best will become better than it used to be. Regardless of quality, keep doing your best, no more and no less than your best. If you try too hard to do more than your best, you will spend more energy than is needed, and in the end, your best will not be enough. When you overdo, you deplete your body and go against yourself, and it will take you longer to accomplish your goal. But if you do less than your best, you subject yourself to frustrations, self-judgment, guilt, and regrets. Just do your best in any circumstance in your life. It doesn't matter if you are sick or tired. If you always do your best, there is no way you can judge yourself. And if you don't judge yourself, there is no way you are going to suffer from guilt, blame, and self-punishment. By always doing your best, you will break a big spell that you have been under. Doing your best, you are going to live your life intensely. You are going to be productive. You are going to be good to yourself, because you will be giving yourself to your family, to your community, to everything. But it is the action that is going to make you feel intensely happy. When you always do your best, you take action. Doing your best is taking the action because you love it, not because you are expecting a reward. Most people do exactly the opposite. They only take action when they expect a reward, and they don't enjoy the action, and that's the reason they don't do their best. And that's why I say not to meditate or say the affirmations with expectation, because when you're expecting it to do something and then it doesn't, especially if you're expecting it to happen in a certain time frame and it doesn't happen, that is when you will be let down. For example, most people go to work every day just thinking of payday and the money they will get from the work they are doing. They can hardly wait for Friday or Saturday, whatever day they receive their money, and can take time off. They are working for the reward, and as a result, they resist work. They try to avoid the action, and it becomes more difficult, and they don't do their best. When you do your best, you learn to accept yourself, but you have to be aware and learn from your mistakes. Learning from your mistakes means you practice. Look honestly at the results and keep practicing. This increases your awareness. Doing your best really doesn't feel like work because you enjoy whatever you are doing. You know you are doing your best when you are enjoying the action or doing it in a way that will not have negative repercussions for you. You do your best because you want to do it, not because you have to do it, not because you are trying to please the judge, and not because you are trying to please other people. If you are new to my channel, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button for more videos, and also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. I hope you have a positive, blissful day or night whenever you're watching this. Thank you so much for your support. I highly recommend getting this book and reading it. Such a good book. I couldn't put it down the first time I read it, and the second time I read it, it was still a good time, and I learned more the second time. Always remember to be love, be peace, be positive, spread love everywhere you go, and always, always be you. I'll see you in the next video.
Not an ego. I wish that you could speak to these motherfuckers.